Esaena El Ehari Me'ai Yavo Ezri Esaena El Ehari Me'ai Yavo Ezri Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz Esaena El Ehari Me'ai Yavo Ezri I lift up my eyes to the mountain. Where does my help come from? I lift up my eyes to the mountain. Where does my help come from? You know my help. It comes from God who made heaven and earth. Esaena El Harim Me'ayin Yavo
The first night of Hanukkah is next Thursday, and this is our menorah.
This is our menorah for Hanukkah.
This is a menorah that Wendy and I have had for a long time.
Can't even remember how long.
Can't even remember where we got it.
No, a friend.
Oh, see, Wendy remembers and I
A
don't.
friend gave it to us. And we want you to know Hanukkah starts next week. So we look forward to lighting this menorah.
This menorah is a family heirloom. It belonged to my grandmother's grandfather, and I have no idea where that was or what year or how old this menorah is. However, ever since I was a child, we use this menorah. I grew up with it in my home.
This is a menorah that my mom gave to me and Jeffrey when we got engaged. And at the time we had 3 very large dogs that lived with us. And since it's become Matilda's menorah. So we've been lighting it for 15 years.
Well, this is my menorah. It's like a VW bus and many years of Hanukkah on top. My mother-in-law gave it to me about 13 years ago, so it's very special to us.
So Hanukkah's coming next week. I'm all ready. The only menorah I've ever known my entire life, more than 60 years, is right here. It's polished, ready to go. Let's get lighting.
So this family menorah was received right after my husband and I got married in 1999. So it's been in our family and it's what we use every year for Hanukkah.
So this menorah was my parents' first menorah when they got married in 48 years ago, whatever year that is. And they gave it, my dad gave it to me after my mother died last year. So now we will light this menorah every year and think of them each time we do it.
This menorah belonged to my grandparents and we'll be the 3rd generation using it, and we're looking forward to lighting it up for this Hanukkah 2020.
This menorah, as you can see, has figures holding the places for each candle. And it spoke to me. I loved it because it was a dancing menorah.
This menorah has been in my family since my great-grandparents. It has always been on our mantelpiece in every home that I've ever lived in, and is a reminder of my family and their tradition of Judaism.
So this is our favorite menorah. The Tree of Life is my favorite symbol of all time. And we saw it at a trade show when we were shopping for our bird stores in Atlanta a few years ago and couldn't resist it. So we're still using it.
Our kids bought us this menorah at a craft store in Montgomery, New Jersey, probably 25 or 30 years ago, and we've been using it ever since, and we really love it.
So this menorah belonged to my grandmother, and it's really interesting because my grandmother was a completely non-religious person, but she had these, and it was important for her to do some of the Jewish cultural traditions.
We got this menorah from Target a while back, and it's kind of a random one, but overall it signifies that the object doesn't need to be special in order for the holiday to be special and meaningful.
Shabbat Shalom. It is so nice to be with you, and thank you to all of those beautiful people for getting us all excited about the upcoming celebration of Hanukkah, which starts this coming week. But in the meantime, it's Shabbat. It's Shabbat during a very dark time in the world, meaning it is darker for more hours every day. And our inclination, our spiritual thing is to lean towards the light when we're feeling in the dark. So part of what we hope to bring to you tonight is a little bit of sparks of light and joy and the warmth that light brings into your world. So I want to just invite you once again. It is so easy with our devices to be doing other things and having your service be on in the background while you cook dinner or do something else. But we would love to invite you to rest, to allow Shabbat to just sink into your home, into your hearts, between the spaces with whomever you share your home. And so as we bring in the light and the warmth of Shabbat, we welcome you, and we are so glad that you are here. And we begin with words which speak about light.
Plant the seeds of joy and light. Tend to them carefully day and night. In this soil so dark and deep, I plant the dreams that love will reap. Or zarua, lat sadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright in heart.
If you have your Shabbat candles handy, I invite you to go to them and make ready to light them as we join in this reading. Make circles to take in the light that brings us Shabbat joy.
Make circles to take in the light that brings us Shabbat rest.
Make circles to take in the light that brings us Shabbat holiness.
Make circles to take in the light that brings us Shabbat peace. as we open our doors to Shabbat, let's also open our heart to Shabbat. With that comes rest, but it also comes a meditation on righteousness, on justice, and let's let all of that come in.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Ishmi'anu el ham yechad Adonai echad U'shemo echad V'shem u'tiferet v'liti la 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 Lechadoti likrat likrat kala P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikabela Lechad lechadoti likrat likrat kala P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor havaracha Merosh ve'kedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tikla la 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 Lechadodi likrat likrat kala P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikabela Lechad lechadodi likrat likrat kala P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikabela Hitorari, Kiva Orei, Kumi Ori, Uri, Shidaveri, Kevod Adonai Alaich, Nigla la 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 Lechadodi, Likrat likrat kala, P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikabela, Lechad lechadodi, Likrat likrat kala, P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom ateret pa'ala Gam b'simcha u'tzola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Lecha lechadodi likrat likrat kala P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikabela Lechad lechadodi likrat likrat kala P'nei p'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Please rise on your feet or in your heart for our call to worship, Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. yalla lie, 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 yalla lie, 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 yalla lie, lie, lie.
You may be seated. You never know when the rabbi's going to tell her story. So I'm going to tell my story now, because some people say it's fun if I mix things up. And there's a reason I'm going to tell it now, right before we start the Ma'ariv HaRavim prayer. Because this is a story about a king who had the most magnificent collection of jewels and gems that he collected from all over the world, the finest, and he kept them all in a big treasure room. And he would go and he would spend hours and hours with all of his gemstones, admiring them and looking at them every day. One night he had a dream, the king, that somewhere there was a ring. It was a magical ring with a special power. This ring could make a person who was sad happy. It could make a person who was giddy and drunk sober. And it could make somebody who was joyful even more joyful. Well, needless to say, when the king woke up from his dream, he absolutely insisted that he must find the magic ring. So he gathered up all of his advisors and ministers in his court, and he entrusted them and sent them off on a great journey to search the world for the magic ring, offering a great reward to whoever would find it. So they all went out and they searched high and low. They went everywhere, and most of his advisors came back empty-handed. They couldn't find the ring. There was only one particularly loyal, beloved, trusted friend who stayed out and journeyed for years looking for the king's magic ring. He scoured every shop, every gallery, bazaars, flea markets, malls, everywhere, looking for the magic ring, until one day he just decided maybe it was time to give up the search. And so on his way back to the palace, he was passing through the main street, and he just decided, I'm going to just stop in this last store and see before I go and disappoint my beloved king. And he went in and he asked the owner, "Do you have a magic ring?" And the owner says, "In fact, I do. A long time ago, a wise man gave me a ring, and I just had a feeling that one day someone was going to claim it." And so he crawled up onto a ladder into the back where there was a shelf, and off of the shelf he picked up a dusty old box, and he opened the box, and inside the box was a cloth, and inside the wrapping of the cloth was a plain metal ring. And he gave it to the trusted advisor, and the advisor says, "What can I give you in exchange for this precious ring?" And he said, "Nothing, you can bring it. I think that your king needs it more than me." Well, he was more than delighted. He wrapped up the ring in the cloth and he put it back in the box, and he said thank you to the shop owner, and he practically ran through the streets and into the palace gates and right into the throne room, where he found the king and said, "I know it's been years since I've been gone, but I have finally arrived, and I have your magic ring, Your Majesty." Well, the king opened the box, and then he unwrapped the cloth, and he pulled out this plain metal ring. And he was examining it because he knew how to examine precious things. And just there he noticed that on the ring were 3 Hebrew words. Gam ze ya'avor. This too shall pass. Now, over time, the king came to realize the magical power of this ring because, in fact, whenever he was sad, he would look at the ring and he would read it and it would say, "This too shall pass." And he would be consoled because he recalled that dawn always follows darkness. And when he was giddy and drunk, he would also look at this magical ring and he would be reminded to come back to his senses and come back to the world. And whenever he was joyful, the king would look at the ring and it would say, "This too shall pass." And it would remind him to savor that moment of deep joy. And suddenly, his joy was magnified. And soon even, the king lost interest in all of his other gems and rings and jewels, all the ones in his treasure house, because none of them compared to the magic of his simple metal ring with those 3 magical words, Gam ze ya'avor. Now, maybe it wasn't really a magic ring. Maybe the magic comes from time itself. That time has a magical power to heal our hurts, to brighten our joys, and deepen our splendid moments, but only if we understand time's magical power. And this is what I'm reminded of tonight as we join in our prayer about rolling light into darkness and darkness into light. And we praise God for this precious gift of time that continues to roll, that reminds us that after the darkness comes light, and even the light will give way to the darkness, but that we have that faith and we have trust that it will roll back to the light.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Hein Adonai Eloheinu b'shoftenu u'kumenu nasya b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Torotecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki em chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavatcha al tasir libenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha uvechol me'odecha. V'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzavecha ayom alevavecha. Vishinantam levaveha v'bivartam bam v'shivtecha erech u'shochbecha uvkumeha ukatartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letetafot bein einecha Ukatavtam al mezuzot beiteha uvishareh va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kiddoshim lelohehem ahani Adonai Elohechem asher anueti etem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lahem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet Adonai Elohechem emet.
As the religious school director, there are few things that bring me greater joy than being led in prayer by our students. That was Julian Warsh and Jasper Childs, both of whom have most recently earned themselves this golden kippah. Well, maybe not this one. They'll have their own. They don't have to share it. But they have both completed all of the Friday night liturgy in our Hebrew curriculum, and they've done a beautiful job. They're both wonderful, awesome human beings. Julian, a fantastic musician who permeated into our consciousness as he played his rendition of The Entertainer 2 years ago at our talent show, exactly. And Julian, you'll get to do that again, I promise. And Jasper, who I've known for some time and brings love and care, brings compassion into everything he does. He cares for and tends to the children's garden at the JCC. and brings that same devotion into his desire to make this an even more just world. So to both Julian and Jasper, we say kol hakavod, wonderful, wonderful job. Even during this time in the pandemic, you have continued to progress in your scholarly studies, and we are grateful because we are the recipients of your knowledge. And so we thank you, and we'll be in contact for orchestrating your pickup of your golden kippah. We continue now with our series of prayers attached to the Shema, Mi Chamocha. This is the song that Moses, Miriam, and the Israelites sang as they crossed the sea to freedom. Who is like you, Adonai? What can compare to you? Holy, awesome, doing amazing things. We thank you for this prayer, and we thank our friends from the band Fish for just elevating it even more.
I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the, Kamocha, Baili Adonai, Ni Kamocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Nora Tehilo, O Sefele, Nora Tehilo, O Sefele. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the velvet sea, whoa. I've been waiting in the, I've been waiting in the.
We have a special prayer that we only say at night to asking God to guard us from this scary darkness that comes every night. And I love this new setting that Seth and Jana have brought to us of Hashkivenu, because it reminds us that love and friendship is our shelter when we're afraid. Love and friendship. I hope that you are feeling the friendship and the love that connects us all, even as we gather in this such unusual way to transcend our devices and to really feel inside your heart and receive. As I'm here on this screen and I feel you, and I hope that you feel us, and the gift that we give each other, love and friendship, is our shelter from all these life storms.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashivenu, Adonai Eloheinu Hashivenu L'Shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm.
As we join in Yismechu, are we there together now? Oh, hi. Now I'm in the center. As we join in this joyful song about Shabbat, Yismechu, it's asking us to be joyful. I just bring you back to the story and remind you, Gam ze ya'avor, deepen your joy. Be conscious of the joy that is within you. Try and tap into the joy, even if maybe that's not the most prominent thing. There's something, look for something to be joyful for, and then savor it. Yismechu.
Yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'koreh oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'koreh oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei shevi Shabbat, kulam yisbehu v'yitanglemetu v'chashabat. Yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'koreh oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'koreh oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashu Shabbat. Chemdan yamim ato karata Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'koreh oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'koreh oneg Shabbat. Zeh lema'aseh b'reishit Shabbat. Lema'aseh b'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'koreh oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'koreh oneg Shabbat.
Rise for tefillah.
Hananana Adonai, Hananana Svatai Tipah, Hananana Ufiagi Tehilatecha, Hananana Adonai, Hananana Svatai Tipah, Hananana Ufiagi Tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevii Gula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim ata Rab laHoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid haGashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'ofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayim emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
God, help us now to make this new Shabbat.
After noise, we seek quiet. After indifferent strangers, we seek to touch those we love.
After concentration on work and responsibility, we seek freedom to meditate, to listen to our inward selves.
We open our eyes to the hidden beauties and the infinite possibilities in the world you are creating.
We break open the gates of the reservoirs of goodness and kindness in ourselves and in others.
We reach toward one holy, perfect moment of Shabbat. Join together in our song about much peace, our anthem of peace, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, Tasim le'olam. Ki atahu melech hador, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech hador, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. V'tov b'neinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Nasim Leolam.
At this time in our service, we think of all of those who are in need of wholeness and healing, all of those people who are broken in body, mind, or spirit, offering them our blessings of refuah shlema, a renewal of body, a renewal of mind, a renewal of spirit.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
From our congregational families, we think of Evelyn Aronson, Chris Argall, Nancy Ash, Hanalea Bat Devorah, Amy Cooper, Christy Dunn, Woldemar Donier, Richard Eisen, Andrew Fisher, Dean Gabney, Roger Gluckman, Jacob Gluckman, Gabby Goldberg, Stuart Goodman, Tom Gosnell, Alicia Good, Nita Hicks, Bert Horwitz, Diana Kleinman, Chris Kuntz, Bernard Leader, Lily Mergentime, Elise Plyler, Miriam Rosenblum, Jim Rudisill, Deborah Sanders, Julie Sherman, Shoshana Slacky, Chana Van Regenmorter, Bob Ward, and Marlene Wexelblatt. Are there also names in the chat this evening?
Jane Savoy, Terry Wade, Alan Klein, Evie Meinhardt, Jeffrey Weinstein, Gloria Cohen, Sheila Crandell, Mike and Denise Sharp, Doe and Jude Pasqualini, Pat Cairns, Cara DeMary, Ronnie Bennett, Ryder Anthony, the Husky family, Tristan, Sonia Alvarez, Rona Kappelman, and Ben Apple.
Mi sheberach imotenu kor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Please now take a moment of silence.
hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. Echad, shtayim, shalosh, arba. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Be Rama. Oh, say shalom. Be Rama. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu. Echad, shtayim, shalosh, arba. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
As is our custom, on this first Shabbat of the month, our family services, we honor all of those people whose birthdays we celebrate this month. We have arrived in December, so all you beloved, beautiful December people, I'm going to open the ark for you. You are virtually here. Actually, one of our December birthdays, Len Levi, is here, and Trenton Noblet, happy birthday. Do we have other birthdays before I open the ark or as I open the ark?
Yes, we do. Carla Diamond, Jeffrey Skolnick, Jill Hepner, Andrea Ward, Lynn Marlowe, and Catherine Rawling.
Happy birthday to all of you and to all of our other December people. We honor you with this blessing. May the one who blessed all of our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you who have been born during this month of December, who are here virtually on this beloved Bima, with reverence in your hearts for God and respect for Shabbat, filled with gratitude to God for the gift of life you've enjoyed until this day. May the Holy One of Blessing continue to bless you with length of years, good health, and the pleasures of coming together in community when we can do that, and the profound satisfaction that comes from giving a life in service to others and being in community. In celebrating this and other birthdays, may we all be reminded that people may count the days of their life, but a person of wisdom knows that life is passing and makes every day count. And let us say Amen and join in our prayer of thanksgiving, Shehecheyanu, as well as our special fish birthday song.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu hazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu hazman hazeh.
All right, December birthdays. This one is special for you. Happy, happy, oh
blow out candles once again, leave the presents all inside. Take my hand and let's take a ride backwards down the number line. You were 8 and I was 9. Do you know what happened then? Do you know why we're still friends? Laughing all these many years, we pushed through hardships, tasted tears, made a promise one to keep. I can still recite it in my sleep every time a birthday comes. Call your friend and sing a song, whisper it into their ear. Write it down, just don't miss a year. You decide what it contains, how long it goes, but this remains. The only rule is it begins. Happy, happy, oh my friend. You decide what it contains, how long it goes, but this remains. The only rule is it returns. Happy, happy, oh my friend. You decide what it contains, how long it goes, but this remains. The only rule is it begins. Happy, happy, oh my friend. You decide what it contains, how long it goes, but this remains. The only rule is it begins. Happy, happy, oh my friend. Happy birthday, Yom Huledet Sameach, December.
And please rise for Aleinu.
Sometimes I lay under the moon, thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and the children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. One day this all will change, treat people the same, stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and the children will play one day, one day, one day.
At this time, we remember all of those people who were in our lives, but who are no longer with us in body, very much alive in our hearts. And we remember them and give thanks to God for the gifts of life and the gift of the memory that lives on long after life is over. We think of these taken from us in recent days. We remember our beloved Arnie Sagan, husband of Doris, and Rosalind Miller, the sister of Beverly Harris and sister-in-law of Joel Harris. And we also recall the yard sites, the anniversaries of the passings of Kimberly Ellen Barr, Doris DeJew, Isadore Feldstein, Charlotte Kempenich, Robert B. Kent, Horatio Kleinman, Rosalind Klibanoff, Wilma Langle, Tilly Levitt, Miriam Mannheimer, Ted Miller, Virginia Munoz, Jack Orenzo, Dorothy Gingle Peck, Sarah Fisher Shamp, Sieg Aronson Weiss, Stephen Michael Wolf. Are there additional names?
Aaron Krosnick.
May all of them live among us as a loving and living benediction, Zichronam Livracha, as we rise, if it is your custom, and join in Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mavarach Le'alam U'almei Almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shmei Dekudashah B'richu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya B'chaim Alenu Be'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Alenu Be'al Kol Yisrael Be'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru Amen.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments old dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter and strife, in 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Raymond Capilouto, and I'm representing your CBHC Board of Trustees tonight. I want to thank Rabbi and Seth for our beautiful service tonight, and a huge mazel tov to Jasper Childs and Julian Warsh for earning their golden kippot tonight. We love celebrating this achievement with each of you, and happy birthday to all our December birthdays. Hanukkah starts next Thursday, and we have a schedule of events that we want to share with you. The Caring Community Circle will be offering a drive-by Spread the Light event on Thursday the 10th from 4 to 6 p.m. to celebrate the first night of Hanukkah. Stop by the temple for a no-contact pickup of fresh hot donuts from a wonderful gourmet donut truck. Then hurry home for our online Zoom first night Hanukkah event with Rabbi and music from Billy Jonas. On Friday the 11th, we'll have a special early 6:30 p.m. Hanukkah Shabbat service beginning with a great video produced by Marty Gillen of the Menorah collection belonging to Phyllis Nalick, which numbers over 100. Then every night of Hanukkah, we'll be emailing you a video in the late afternoon of a candle lighting for that night. You can light your candles with us or just enjoy seeing community members bringing you into their homes. On the 7th night, Wednesday the 16th, join Seth on Facebook Live for candle lighting and a special Hanukkah Lila Tov. We cannot wait to celebrate the light of season with everyone. This Sunday at 4 p.m., Billy Jonas, along with his musical partners, will perform a new documentary of Abraham Jam called The Braided Prayer. Check your Tuesday email for the link. Sisterhood is holding a coat drive for Helpmate. If you have a coat in good condition or other warm accessories such as hats and gloves to donate for those who are fleeing domestic violence, please bring it to the temple next Thursday, December 10th, during the Spread the Light event from 4 to 6. But if you can't make it at that time, contact Judy B. Kaplan or Gail Sobel. Their email info is in your Tuesday email. Shabbat Shalom, and have a wonderful Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim. L'chaim.
And we have this beautiful challah. I think this is from Amanda.
I think it is.
It looks super yummy. It smells super yummy. So let's all together say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Yeah, she nailed it. All right, it's our last song. It's 7:40, so I think we all have the energy to stand up. I can't stand up because I think it cuts off my head a little bit, but you can stand up. Everybody up on your feet, and let's make some ruach.
We read the wind and the sky when the sun is high. We sail the length of the seas on the ocean breeze. At night we name every star. We know where we are. We know who we are, who we are. Shalom, shalom. We set a course to find a brand new island everywhere we roam. Shalom, shalom. We keep our island in our mind. And when it's time to find home, we know the way. Odibo shalom aleinu. Odibo shalom aleinu. Odibo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Odibo shalom aleinu. Odibo shalom aleinu. Odibo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Salam aleinu ve'akulam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'akolam. Salam, salam. Odibo shalom aleinu. Odibo shalom aleinu. Odibo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Odibo shalom aleinu. Odibo shalom aleinu. Odibo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Salam עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלאם, 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 עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלאם, סלאם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא עשנו כשומרי האדמה, והוא שם בנו כשליחי התורה, שהוא שם חיינו איתה, וגורלנו עם כל העולם.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.